Welcome to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement and to our live virtual broadcast service. We're so happy to have you. And this is not a religious programming, indoctrination, talking about doctrine and dogma, trying to win you over to some particular spiritual tradition. No, this is a spiritual uprising, an opportunity for you to awaken the divine within you. And we're live here on TikTok and YouTube right now. And so we welcome all that are tuning in and those that will watch the replay. We love you all and thank you for dropping in on us today. So again, peace and divine power to each and every one of you tuning in today on this Friday evening, afternoon. And whether you're joining live or catching the replay, we are so happy to have you. And we welcome you to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. I'm yours truly, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, teacher, prophet, prophetess, high priestess, global spiritual leader, teacher, guide, divine midwife in this area of spiritual rebirth. So I want you, let's all together take a deep breath in and hold it. Hold it. And on the count of three, we're going to let out, exhale, but I want you to exhale all of the doubt, trepidation, fear, limiting beliefs, the stress of the week. We're going to let it go when we exhale. 1, 2, 3, exhale. And just breathe in, take some deep breaths in and breathe out. Greetings, everybody. Tap that screen. Tap that screen. Join in with us today. And as we begin our live today, we want to set our intentions. So we want to open up with our affirmation, our mind treatment, our affirmation. This is the type of praying that we teach in this sanctuary, affirming the truth over your life. So repeat after me. I was not born to survive. Come on, repeat after me. I was not born to survive. I was born to command. Come on, affirm that with me. I was not born to survive. I was born to command. Affirm with me. I am not a victim. Come on, say that, say that, say that with me. I am not a victim. I am a vessel of divine power. Come on, say that with me. I am not a victim. Get that in your spirit, in your subconscious, in your mind. I am not a victim. I am a vessel of divine power. Come on, affirm with me. I walk in Christ consciousness. Come on, repeat that with me. I walk in Christ consciousness. I move with ancestral wisdom. Come on, I walk in Christ consciousness. I move with ancestral wisdom. And I create my world with intention. Come on, affirm that with me. I create my world with intention. And we're going to say that again together. Greetings. If you're just joining us, tap the screen, comment, let us know where you're watching from. Greet us. We love to hear from you. So happy that you take out the time to join us in this virtual sanctuary. Welcome to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement, to our virtual live service. Welcome, not to a religious programming, but a spiritual uprising, a sacred and safe space where you can experience spirituality from an expanded conscious perspective. So affirm with me. Say this prayer of affirmation with me. I was not born to survive. I was born to command. I was born to thrive. I am not a victim. I am not a victim. I am a vessel of divine power. I am a vessel of divine power. I walk in Christ consciousness and I move with ancestral wisdom. And I create my world with intention. I create my world with intention. Amen and Ashe. Amen and Ashe. Move into the frequency of love and gratitude. Move into the frequency of joy and peace. Amen and Ashe. So let go of whatever you face this week, whatever trials and troubles and anxiety, I want you to let it go now. And just put yourself in a posture of receiving all that you need. So yesterday we talked about breaking the chains, the mental chains, the invisible chains that hold us hostage. We talked about reclaiming our minds, our divinity, and our sacred identity, our sacred divinity, our sacred personhood, who we've been created to be, reclaiming our soul. That's what we discussed in yesterday's teachings. But today our topic is moving further and deeper. We're launching our deep today, so stick with me. Today our topic is commanding your reality. Did you know you have power to do that? To command your reality? That you just don't have to be a victim of circumstances. That you can command your reality. So today's topic is commanding your reality. How to walk in your divine authority every day. Not just some days, sometime. How to walk into your divine authority every day, right now. So as you come in, please tap the screen, press those hearts, share, comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Greet us. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to give to this movement, if you want to give to this cause, you can do so. The CashApp is the way to give, and it's in the comment section, in the bio, on the flyer, but I'll let you know. I'll say it a few times, because I know sometimes I say it fast. It is $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. That is $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. If you'd like to give to this platform, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, if your spirit connects, you can send a love gift to help us continue our mission in spreading this truth of liberation and conscious awakening. And if you've been looking for a spiritual home, a place where you can expand your consciousness, where you can learn about spirituality outside of the context of the dogma and indoctrination of religion, you found your place. If you've been looking for a spiritual community that you can connect with, a spiritual advisor, teacher, that can help guide you into moving deeper in spirituality, you've come home. Welcome home. Reach out to us today and we'll let you know how you can be a part of this movement and begin to awaken and further your journey. Because we're all on a spiritual journey. Many different paths, but we're all on a journey to reach one destination, our divine purpose. To do and be what we have been created to be from the foundation of the world. So again, today our topic is commanding your reality. How to walk in divine authority every day. Please share. Everybody, as you come on in the room, please share this. Tap the screen. Share, share, share. We want to get our viewership up today. Come on, let's help reach our mark. Let's share this live. Would you help us? See, breaking free from the oppressive system is only one step. A lot of people say we got to get out from the illusion, from the psychosis that organized religion and oppressive systems and our colonizers have placed on us. But breaking free is only one step. It's only one step. The question is, are we willing to go all the way to truly be liberated in our spirit, in our mind and consciousness, in our soul, in our body, to truly fully be liberated from our programming that doesn't serve us? Because walking in power daily, intentionally, unapologetically, that's where transformation happens. When we walk in power daily, intentionally, not just by happenstance, intentionally and unapologetically. Unapologetically. And when we begin to do that, that's when transformation begins to take place in our life, in our home, in our family, in our community, our society, and in our world. So I want to begin talking about the lie of powerlessness. So a lot of us have been lied to and told that we're powerless, that we don't have any power, that we don't have any divine authority. But we want to come against that lie. We want to expose that lie today with truth. And so let's talk about what's keeping so many of us from living the divine authority. What is blocking us from living in divine authority? And I must add that we have been conditioned. You have been conditioned. And you may say, well, conditioned to what? You've been conditioned to pray from a posture of fear, not faith. You have been conditioned to pray from a place of fear and not faith. You have been conditioned to wait on a blessing instead of being a blessing. You have been conditioned to beg a God outside of yourself while ignoring the divine presence in here, within. What's powerful is to understand that they taught us to worship the wound instead of to wield the wisdom. Again, they taught us to worship the wound instead of wield the wisdom. To follow the wisdom of our ancestors, to follow the wisdoms of our matriarchs and patriarchs. We have been conditioned and taught to worship the wound, the fear. So my question to you is, when are you going to wake up and stop worshiping fear and lean into your ancestral wisdom? A lot of us fear so many things. Fear what's going to happen. Fear what's how things are going to play out, how your life is going to turn out. We are living in a constant state of fear. But I'm encouraging you. I'm speaking life into you to no longer live in a place of fear, but to move in faith and knowing that everything works out for you. Everything is working out for you. Everything that you need is being supplied. All that you need is being given to you. That you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live in constant anxiety. You can arise and do great things in the earth. See, that's the danger of colonized religion. Organized, colonized religion. The danger is that it disconnects you, it disconnects us from the divine seat of power. That is what has happened. We have been disconnected from our divine seat of power. See, Yeshua, commonly called Jesus, also known to some as the Christ. Not the whitewashed, colonized version that they gave us, but the mystical revolutionary. It is said that he taught us to embody the divine consciousness. And that's what so many people are missing. They are not embodying the divine consciousness. For Yeshua did not come to replace your power. He came to reveal it. He came to be an example and to reveal your divine power and show you how to exemplify and demonstrate it here in the flesh. What you need to do to embody the divine consciousness, your divine power. So you may be asking today, somebody may be asking, well, Chief, what is divine authority? What is that? Well, let me define it for you. Divine authority means knowing you are the living word. That is what divine authority is. Knowing divine authority means knowing you are the living word. That you are a conscious creator walking in alignment with the divine law. I'm going to say that again. As you come in the room, please tap the screen. Share this live, everybody. Share this with a neighbor. Share it with a friend. Share it with a co-worker. Divine authority means knowing. It's a knowing inside of you. Knowing that you are the living word. That you are a conscious creator walking in the earth in alignment with the divine flow, with the divine law. It's not being arrogant. Having divine authority does not lift your heads into the clouds, does not boost your ego. Having true divine authority is not arrogance, it's not ego, but it's alignment. That's when we truly have divine authority, when we become one with the divine consciousness, when we become one with who we truly are, our higher self, when we become one and in perfect alignment What we have to understand is that we, all of us have been created in the image. A lot of us have been taught that growing up in the religious world and church, that you was created in the image and likeness of God. Yes? We've been taught that, but when are we truly going to embrace that and live from that place that I am a freshly image of my Creator? And I'm of the same likeness. When are we going to conceive and accept and begin to practice that we live from a place of understanding that I am created in the image of my Creator and I have its likeness? And if we have been created in the image of God and His likeness, its likeness, as we've been told, then I have to ask the question, why do we live like beggars and paupers? Why do we live like we're fatherless and motherless children on earth? Why do we live like a beggar when you, we all are the blueprint? That's the question. If we've been created in the image of God, in His likeness, then why do we live something contrary to that? And forgetting that we are the blueprint. I've come to encourage you and to remind you, those that are on YouTube, those that are on TikTok, those who will watch the replay, I am here to remind you that you're not just a believer. You're just not a student. You're just not a spiritual legislator. But to remind you that your words are decrees. Your words are decrees. Your thoughts are creative currency. Your emotions are magnetic fields. That's why we must be careful what we say, what we speak, because our words have power. As the sacred text says, life and death are in the power of your tongue. So your words are decrees, your thoughts are creative currency, and your emotions are magnetic fields. Your emotion is the language of the universe, and it brings things to you. Your feelings have a play, and what draws and attracts things, people, circumstance to you. I want to remind you that if you don't command your day, if you don't command your life and your day, your programming will. I'm going to say that again for those that are in the back of the spiritual bus. If you don't command your day, your programming will command your day. Somebody said, what do you mean by your programming? You've been programmed, all of us have been programmed from childhood. What to think? We've been programmed our worldview, how we see ourselves and how we see others. We have been programmed from a little baby coming out of the womb. When it's right to speak, when not to speak, what's appropriate, what's not. We've been programmed. And if you don't take a conscious decision and action on commanding your day, you will just continue to go through life following the programming that has been set up inside of you from birth. But if you want new results, you have to do something different. If we want to change in our life, we have to do something different. Job 22:28 says, for those Bible readers, decree a thing and it shall be established. So I ask you, what are you decreeing? What are you declaring? What are you speaking over your life? Decree a thing and it shall be established. The universe, source, God by all names known, the God of your understanding, begin to make it happen. The forces of nature begin to form and bend to your bidding when you decree and declare something. It is established. Things begin to move in alignment with what you say. So are you decreeing and declaring? Are you commanding your reality? Or you're just going along to get along, day by day, day from day? That's the question. Proverbs 18:21 rather, says, life and death are in the power of your tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. You have the power to speak life over yourself or to speak death. You have the power to speak to every area of your life consciously and begin to reprogram and shape your life into what you truly desire. If we take the responsibility, stop doing the name it, blame it game, blaming everybody for our circumstances and why things are as it is or why certain circumstances didn't go our way, blaming this one and that one is because of my mama didn't do this, my daddy didn't do this parent wasn't there, or whatever have you. When are we going to come out of that and begin to take ownership and responsibility of our life and step into our divine power and begin to command our reality and to use the power of life and death that's in our tongue to speak death to the things that we do not want to see and speak life to the things that we want to birth, that we want to create? It's as simple as making up in your mind that you want to change, and the change must begin in you. The change must begin with you. It begins in your consciousness, in your mindset, your programming. Shifting your paradigm is how you begin to shift your life. By making a decision. I don't want this, I want that. And so I'm going to begin to speak in alignment of what I want. I'm going to stop speaking about the things I don't want. Because the more I speak about the things that I don't want, it keeps coming. It's a magnet because I'm using the wrong words. I'm saying the wrong things. Because most of the time when we speak about something that's deep-seated, we speak with fervor and intention. And when you speak with emotion and intention, it has an impact on manifesting. That's true. That's true. Let them cook. Oftentimes, you're right. When you ask people what do they want, what do they truly want, they don't have an answer. So because they don't really know, they list off, well, I don't want this, I don't want that. I've asked people over the years, they say, child, I want to be married. I say, well, what kind of spouse are you looking for? Or what kind of mate do you want? Child, no, I just want to be married, honey. I want to be happily married. I want a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. I want a good man. I want a good woman. I want a good individual, partner. But they're not specific. And when you're dealing with the creator, with the source, with the universe, manifesting, when it comes to manifestation, you have to be definite with the infinite. You have to learn to be definite. You just can't say, oh, we were taught, a lot of people were taught growing up in a religious background in church or whatever. Oh, Lord, however you bless me, I'll be satisfied. I don't pray that. I don't teach nobody to pray that. It ain't, Lord, however you bless me, I'll be satisfied. You may need a car and you say, well, Lord, bless me with a car. Well, you may get blessed. Universe may bless you with the Corolla. I don't want that. That ain't the kind of color of car I want. You wasn't specific, honey. You wasn't definite with the infinite. So you got a car, but it may not been a car you wanted. Why? Because you truly didn't know what you want and you were not definite with the infinite. So we have to reprogram our mind to learn to really be honest with ourselves on what we truly want. And start speaking in alignment with what you truly want. If you want to bear children, you cannot say, I'm a barren woman or individual. You can't say that, oh, I just can't carry a baby. Or, it's hard for me, X, Y, Z. You have to speak in alignment with what you want. You have to speak, I'm going to have a healthy pregnancy. I am going to have a wonderful birth. All things are going to work out with my pregnancy. You have to speak in alignment. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to make it in your mind that I do not want to work for somebody the rest of my life. I want to work for myself. And I want to serve those that I've been called to serve. And once you make up that in your mind, you begin to find out what you're good at, what you're called to do, what's your niche, what is your demographic, who you're called to serve, and you begin to make plans. You begin to make steps, and then you begin to speak in alignment. Everything I need to accomplish making this business effort work is going to come to me. I affirm that whatever you name your business, whatever it's called, it's coming into fruition. It's coming into full bloom. Every business plan, every person that I should be connected to is coming. All things are moving in my favor to put my business plan in action. You begin to speak in alignment. You don't speak, well, there's so many people that's doing this now. I don't think I'm going to be successful. Or, ain't nobody want to support my business. It's always speaking down and negative. We have to learn to stop being negative, little negative Nancy's. There are a lot of principles and truths that we've been taught, but when are we going to do just that? Implement them. When are we going to implement the truth that we've learned? When are we going to implement the spiritual principles that we've been taught? Well, we got to understand that our programming blocks our power. Your internal programming is blocking your power flow. You may say, well, how is that, Chief? Well, colonized religion has taught us to worship suffering. Instead of worship thriving, we're worshiping suffering. We've been taught to submit to hierarchy, not to honor the divine within us. We've been taught to fear questioning. Don't question the man and woman of God. Don't question your parents. Don't question, authority. Just do whatever you're told. See, we've been programmed to be sheeps. That's why organized religion, they teach you, oh, you need a pastor, you need a shepherd. You a sheep. You need to be meek and humble like a sheep. Honor your shepherd, for they watch for your soul, quote unquote. Putting your life in the responsibility of your life being safeguarded into the hand of another. That's a dangerous thing to do. Your survival and your spiritual evolution, spiritually, mentally, physically, are in your hand and your responsibility. Take it back from the preacher, take it back from your parents, take it back from everybody, and then live in your divine spiritual sovereignty. So we've been taught to worship suffering. That suffering brings you closer to God, but that is very so far from the truth. We've been taught to submit to hierarchies and not honor the divine presence within. We've been taught to fear questioning. Just obey. Don't ask no question, just obey. That's why half of people are following indoctrination and religious dogma, have no clue why they're doing it, don't know where it came from, don't know how it got started. They're just doing it because this is what they were told to do. They were programmed to do it, so they're doing it. Some people pray a certain way, they don't know why they pray that way. That's the way they heard their grandmother pray, that's the way they heard their father pray, their great-grand aunt, so they're just doing it. And half the time it's not working for them. Because what worked for other people may not work for you. The colonizers taught you things. But what they taught you wasn't for your liberation, it was for your subjugation. Never look for your oppressor to teach you liberation. Never look for your oppressor to teach you what you need to know to liberate yourself, your family, to move away from the plantation. They're not going to teach you that. They're going to teach you all the things to keep you stuck on the plantation of mental slavery. The church world is a plantation. It's a corral. And the members are sheep going to the slaughter. They don't even know it. They are sheep going to the slaughter. And if they don't wake up and realize, hey, something's wrong with this, they will continue a life of mental slavery and oppression. Why? Because they've been taught to forget truly who they are and what they've been created to be, what their ancestral lineage they come from, and the power that is invested in them, because they are descendants of powerful ancestors. So we've been taught, colonized, organized religion have taught us to worship suffering, submit to hierarchy, fear questioning, and to ignore intuition. How many times have we been taught growing up to honor our own intuition, our own internal guiding system? Our own internal guidance system. How many times have we been taught to do that? No, we've been taught to honor and obey a book that's not even 2,000 years old. We've been taught to honor and obey a book and to believe a book that's been written by so many different men who are human, many who don't have first-hand account of things. And not to trust and follow and obey the internal divine guidance system placed in you by your Creator. A lot of times, if we would just follow our own inner spiritual guidance system, our own divine voice in us, your intuition, it would lead us right where we need to be. And it would keep us out of harm's way. Because signs are given to us, our ancestors, to the spirit, the divine source, God of all names are known, God of your understanding, the angels, whatever you're naming it, gives us signs. And oftentimes, we bypass it. We ignore it. Why? Because we fail to stop and to go within and find the answer. We're always looking outside of ourselves for the answer instead of looking within. The answer that you seek is already within you. Let me give you all an affirmation. Let me give you an affirmation that I quote often. It's in my little book here. Let me pull it out of this drawer here. I want to give you this affirmation, a prayer that is in my litany of affirmations. And this is it. And you can affirm this. I'm going to say it, and then you can affirm it and repeat it after me. The source of my answer and guidance is within me. The source of my answer and guidance is already within me. So come on, say that with me. The source of my answer and guidance is already within me. The source of my answer and guidance is already within me. So now I settle my spirit and receive my answer and guidance from within. What if we lived from a place of understanding this? If we lived from a conscious place of this, knowing that the source of our answer and guidance is already within us. We don't need to seek outside of ourselves for the answer because it's already in you. Whatever you need to succeed, the divine has already placed it within you. All we need to do is settle our spirit, our mind, go within and receive our answer and guidance from within. Beloved, so many of us are afraid to look within, afraid to look inside the mirror of our own soul to see what lies within. But I want to encourage somebody today, somebody on this live stream, somebody on TikTok, somebody on YouTube, somebody watching the replay. I want to encourage you. Don't be afraid to look within. Don't be afraid to look within. Go within yourself and see what's there. I promise you, you'll see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. But through it all that you see when you look within, and you look at the mirror of your own soul, after all of that you see, you will find beautiful treasures, answers unknown. You'll find life's answers and guidance and so much beauty packed and tucked away in your soul when you go within. And it's just there waiting to be discovered, waiting to be recovered, waiting to be tapped in. There's a power inside of you that's waiting to arise and be tapped in. All you got to do is remember. All you have to do is get to work and look within your own soul. Look within the mirror of your soul. Go within and see your own masterful beauty. Go within and see your own masterful beauty. That is what's powerful. That is what we need to do, each and every one of us, to learn to go within. To learn to go inside of our own soul. See, your programming becomes your posture. See, if we don't shift our mindset, shift our programming, shift our paradigm, we will continue to do the same thing and get the same results. Your programming becomes your posture and how you view the world and how you interact with everyone. Your program becomes your posture. If you were taught to kneel, you won't stand to speak. If you were taught to beg, you won't command. See how you got to shift your paradigm, shift your perspective, shift your mindset. It's time to get up off our knees. We done wore out, still ain't got nowhere, and stand up and speak. It's time to stop begging and pleading and seeking. It's time to arise and command. Because ain't nobody just going to willingly give you your freedom and your liberation. You have to command it and take it. Anything a great person or those who become great in the world and the universe, they've had to take it. Not talking about ill-gotten gains, but you learn to what you deserve, and you don't take a no for an answer. You stand up and you go after what it is you want. When are we going to get the spirit of a warrior and be a go-getter? Stop being innocent bystander in our own life. See, a lot of us, our mind is programmed to believe it like this. Oh, God will do it in his own time. You know, God's ways ain't our ways. God's timing is different. God will do it in his own time. That's just an excuse. Church colloquialism. Church lingo. But it ain't reality. Yeah, you say, well, God will handle it in his own time. But what if you are the one delaying it by not speaking it into existence? You're waiting on God and God is waiting on you. Why? Because God is within you. The divine presence, spirit is in you. It is not about the timing of the divine. What if it's you moving out of alignment? It's because you are scared and slowful. And you're delaying your blessing. You're delaying your miracle. You're delaying your progress. Because you won't stand up, declare, command, and speak it into existence. Just think back on your life. How many times you could have been further than where you are if you just learn to take your authority, stand up, decree and declare it, and speak it into existence instead of waiting. Beloved, we've waited long enough. It's time to move. It's time to get in motion And understand that you are God in the earth and your divine intelligence in motion. Some people say, "Oh, but you can't. I can't see God. I can't. I can't." Yes, you can. You can hear and see God because you and the next fellow person are made in the image of the divine Creator. So stop using excuses on why you have not succeeded, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Listen, this time next year, I'm not going to be where I am." And I speak progress. I speak divine alignment. I speak abundance. I speak and declare victory. I speak and declare financial literacy. I speak and I declare a full bill of health, clean bill of health. So you got to open up your mouth and declare the truth over yourself. A lot of us have been taught, "Oh, you got to wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord." But I encourage you to look at it differently. What if the Lord is waiting on you to get in position? A lot of us want certain things, but we're not in the right posture to receive it. We're not in the place where we need to be. We're not in position in order to be able to receive and handle what we say we want. So when are we going to get in position and begin to move and act like we want and deserve what our goal is? Beloved, I want to say this to us. Everyone on the sound of my voice that knows that watch the replay, I want you to get this in your spirit. You don't need more favor. That's not what you need. Oh, people say, "Oh, I just need favor." No, you don't need no more favor. What you do need is more faith in your own authority. That's what you need. You don't need more favor. You need more faith in your own divine authority. You can recognize everybody else's potential. You can praise everybody else. You can encourage everybody else. You can lift everybody else up. But the question is, when are you going to recognize your own divine potential? When are you going to recognize your own spiritual sovereignty and authority? Now, I want you to think about this question. If you want to answer it, you can put it in the comment section if you want to, or you can write it down and think about it. It could be a journaling prompt for you. What's one lie you were taught about your power? What is the one lie you have been taught about your power? And let's really break this down together. Let's really begin to work on ourselves so that we can get into posture, in the position that we need to be in order to receive all that we have been created to have, be, and to become. Now, I want to give you some practical tools to command your reality. I want us now to move from theory to transformation. And here are some practical ways to walk in divine authority every day. Number one, morning spiritual command. We got to have a morning ritual, something that grounds you, that helps you, focus you every day to walk in your divine authority. Before you hit the floor, before your feet hit the floor, every rising, I want you to say, I command peace in my home. I command prosperity in my work. I command alignment in my relationship. I command energy, joy, and divine timing today, right now. Isn't that powerful? See, you're setting an intention for that day. You're setting an intention for your life every day. You're commanding your day. So repeat that after me. And remember, you're going to say this every day before you hit the floor. Every rising, every morning. Write this down. Say, I command peace in my home. I command prosperity in my work. I command alignment in my relationships and in my own soul. I command energy, source, and divine timing right now, today. Amen and Ashe. To every day, refocus yourself, center yourself in the truth by using affirmation, your words. Because a lot of times, we be honest, our words is what have gotten us in trouble. Our words is what has put us where we are. So your words are going to have to get you out of the rut that you put yourself in. So speaking something different than what you did speak to get yourself in, you have to speak the truth, something different to get yourself out. You know, I've seen people over the years being a spiritual leader and teacher. I've seen people got this up in predicaments and then cry, oh, Lord, help me get out of this. Well, honey, the Lord didn't help you get in. So the same way you got in, you need to get out. Oh, God, help me stop doing X, Y, Z. God didn't tell you to start, didn't help you stop. So you get out of it and stop. Because the strength and power to do what you need to do, you already got it. You just have to walk into it. Because remember what I said earlier, you don't need no more favor. You're favored enough. You need more faith in your own divine spiritual sovereignty and power. That's what you need. More faith in yourself. Many of us, we have faith in everybody else but ourselves. You have faith in your mama prayer, your grandmother prayer, your granddaddy prayer, your sister prayer, your preacher prayer, the pastor, the prophet, the apostle, the seer. The medicine man, woman, you ever the shaman, you have faith in everybody else's prayer and power, but no faith in your own. And beloved, that's the problem. So I want to encourage you to have faith in yourself, in your own divine right, spiritual sovereignty, and power. So the first thing, every day to walk in divine authority, your practical ways and steps is number one, morning spiritual command, morning rituals, rising rituals. Command your day. Affirm affirmations. Truth. Declare it over yourself. Number two, mental rewiring. Every day we have to do mental rewiring. You have to rewire your brain, rewire your consciousness, rewire your paradigm and programming. So we need to learn to replace. How do you rewire? Somebody said, how do you mental rewire, Chief? Let me share with you. Replace, I hope it works out. Because the past few times, nothing happen. You replace that with everything is working out in my favor right now. So you replace the words, I hope it works out. I hope everything goes well, to saying everything is working in my favor. See, that's a shift. That's a difference. You replace, I'm not sure if I can. I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can do it. You replace that with, I know and I affirm that I'm fully capable and equipped by the divine to accomplish this, whatever this is. Again, replace those stinking thinking thoughts and words of, I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I'm qualified. I'm not sure if I have the ability to accomplish this. And you replace it with, I affirm and know that I am fully equipped by the divine to accomplish this. Every time you faced with something that seems difficult, that may have you shaking in your boots, you affirm the truth that I am capable and fully equipped by the divine for this. Remember, whatever you put behind I am, you become. So if you say, I am worried, I'm hopeless, I am a nobody, I am lazy, I am broke, I am unloved, you pour cement on those words. And you keep yourself stagnated in that same frequency of what you spoke. And those words become true for you. So we must learn to break that cycle. And how do we do that? We do that by affirming the truth of ourselves. We say, I am whole. When you feel that you're broken, no, you speak, I am whole. You don't speak, I'm broke. I am wealthy. Abundance flows through my house right now. Abundance flows through my life and my bank account. I have a steady flow of income from various streams of income. When you're feeling, instead of saying, I'm weak, you will declare, I am strong and I'm built for this. Grand evening, beloved eccentric one. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You no longer say, well, I just can't, I just can't do it. No, you say, I affirm that I can do anything that I need to do because I have the power. I've been divinely equipped and qualified by the divine to accomplish this. Affirm that I'm not going to let nothing stand in my way from accomplishing my mission and goal. I'm going to accomplish the assignment. Why? Because I am the epitome. I am the epitome of the divine consciousness, the created universe. Stop feeling you're inadequate. Stop saying, oh, I don't have the education to accomplish this. Thank you for the hearts. Please, everybody, as you come in the room, please share this. We have a low morale today, but we're going to keep on because this is for somebody, even those that may watch the replay. Share the live, everybody. Share it with a neighbor, share it with a friend. We appreciate your support. And if you'd like to give to this work, a financial contribution, it's in the caption, it's in the bio, it's in the comment section. dollar sign, capital BSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Thank you so very much. No gift too small or too great. So we affirm the truth about ourselves and stop viewing ourselves as mediocre, minuscule. Stop viewing yourself as if you're just helpless, and know that you've been created in the likeness of your Creator. Replace the words, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure, so we'll see what happens. And start declaring, I decide what happens. I am the master of my own fate, the captain of my soul. And so many people say, no, your destiny is in God's hand. Well, you got to remember that God is in you. Not a sky daddy. We don't teach that here in this virtual sanctuary. In this spiritual community, we don't teach about sky daddy. We speak and teach that God, the divine source, is within you. Spirit is within you. And you've been given the power. You've been created as a free will agent, as a divine being, to decide for yourself. So you stop saying, we'll see what happens, and you declare, I decide what happens to me. I decide what's going to happen in my life. I decide. Because remember the law, universal law of cause and effect, there's a cause for every effect. There is a cause for everything. You may not think it down, but you thought it up. The words that you speak and the thoughts that you entertain create your reality. Sometimes you don't even say that, you just think on it long enough. And the divine antenna goes up. And next thing you know, something happens. You say, I just thought about that. I ain't even said that to nobody. I just thought about that and it happened. Yes, because the words you speak and the thoughts you entertain create your reality. Especially when it's with emotion, because emotions, feelings, are the language of the universe. And it picks up on it. Energy, the language of the universe. That's why animals can feel your energy if you're afraid of them. Dogs can feel if you're afraid of them or not. Babies can pick up on your energy if you're afraid of your good energy or bad energy. Children are the best detectors of energy. Because remember, they just came out of the divine presence. They have been with the source, and babies just now coming to the earth, and they've been the closest one in the world. They're the closest one to the divine presence. And they're sensitive because why? They just came out of the divine presence into the earth. So they can sense the spiritual realm, see and feel what you as an adult may be lacking in. You don't got too old and too far away from the source, from your own spiritual divine intelligence. But those babies can pick up. That's why sometimes when certain people enter the room, they start hollering and crying. They don't want these people touching them and picking them up. Why? Because that baby detects the energy. And the more you are in tune with the spirit of the divine in you, you become just like that baby, and you can detect energy. Energy can be felt. Your mouth can say anything and you can lie about it, but your energy does not lie. That's why I don't study people. They say, oh, I just love you. And they give me a hug. You know them fake church hugs, honey. You know about it. You know about them fake church hugs. And those church kisses, you know. Ooh. And, I just, hug my own back. Because, honey, I know you don't mean me no good. I know you don't like me. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing about you. I don't need to listen to anybody's gossip about what you said about me and how you feel about me, because energy don't lie and I can detect it. When people talk about the colloquial church lingo, when they said, thank you for the gifts, thank you so much. When people talk about using the discernment, having spiritual discernment, all they're talking about is being able to read energy, to feel energy and read it. That's what they're talking about, spiritual discernment, partially. And all of us have to be aware and use our own spiritual discernment and be able to read energy, read the room. Because everybody that say I love you, every I love you is not meant. And like the old folks, the elders used to tell me, honey, they used to say, every shut eye ain't sleep, and every goodbye ain't gone. I never forget the old elders used to tell me that every shut eye ain't sleep, and every goodbye ain't gone. Everybody that say I love you and hello don't mean you no good. So you got to use your spiritual discernment. Be able to read the energy of people. Be able to see the true intent that they're trying to mask. Every shut eye ain't sleep. If you don't remember nothing else from this slide, remember that. Every shut eye ain't sleep, and every goodbye ain't gone. Some people play and pretend like they don't see what you're doing and the impact you're making. Honey, they see. They watching secretly. They're not going to pat you on the back because they're jealous. They're envious. But they see the impact you're making. A lot of people try to copy. You know what? I have inspired so many people over the years. It's amazing. I have inspired so many people. But guess what? Majority of them will never come and say it. And that's okay. Even in my neighborhood, I've started to, go out and take strolls and walk, and, after having the surgery, walk and do the little exercises and whatnot, and, the best of my ability. I because of my balance, I walk with with a stick. But I've been getting out there, having my music, my AirPods, oh Lord, the AirPods in my ears, and walking through the neighborhood, and just. Now, guess what I seen the other day? I started seeing people walk. I was driving to see, started seeing people walking through the neighborhood, and I'm sitting there, look at this. Ain't nobody was moving. Now all of a sudden, everybody walking in the neighborhood. So never downplay your impact in the earth realm. Never downplay the power that you have. Because so many people are watching you, they will never say it. A lot of people are impacted by what you say and what you do. They are inspired by you, but their ego, their pride will never let them come and tell you that. Hello, dear. Hello. They will never come and tell my spouses came in trying to sneak past us. I'm on live. But people, they sometimes will never admit that they have been inspired by you. But let me tell you the mark of a true leader. If they inspire, because we truly know, inspiration comes from, let me tell you, you don't own no idea. You do not own it. Because all genius ideas come from the divine intelligence in the universe. And you pick up on it, inspiration, and you act on it, and it becomes a brilliant $1 million, $1 trillion idea. But if you don't act on it, somebody else can move in that frequency and pick up that same idea and do act on it and become famous or well known. And you say, oh, they copied me, or how in the world did they did the same? Because you don't own genius. You don't own inspiration. Inspiration is divine, and it comes and it's in a certain frequency. And you can go in the frequency and get it, come back down, put it in play. So a true marker, but truly, they don't mind saying somebody inspired them. Why? Because we don't own inspiration. I'm glad I can inspire people. So we got to make sure we don't allow our ego. See, there's nothing wrong with the ego. You've been created with the ego. We have to learn how to integrate the ego and not allow the ego to cause us to make unwise, unbalanced decisions. That's the key. It ain't about the ego. It's about making sure you don't allow your ego to lead you, but you're being led by your higher self, the spirit within you, the God of your understanding, God by all names known. You're being led by that, not by your base self, your lower frequency. So, practical ways and tools to command your reality. Number one, morning spiritual command. You get up before your feet hit the floor, command your day. And I'm going to give it to you again. I said, I command peace in my home. I command prosperity in my work. I command alignment in my relationships. I command energy, joy, and divine timing today, right now. A lot of us, you experiencing bad relationships and you're experiencing on your job turmoil and chaos. Half of the times because you haven't taken authority and commanded your day. You have not spoken prosperity and peace in your job. Your house is in disarray. Your home, your marriage, your relationship with your partner, your spouse, always arguing, always going on. Let me give you a spiritual tip. Every time arguing go on in the car or in the house, down the window, up the window. If you're in the car and the argument go down the window. If you're in the house, arguing going on, up the window, open the door. Let that energy out. Get that energy out. A lot of time you got confusion in your home because you just allow anything. You have not commanded peace in your home, in your relationship. And there are certain things you can do to bring about peace, love, and joy in your home. But I ain't going to put it all out there in the public. If you want to know the information, join our spiritual community. Reach out to us to find out how to join. I'll get you the information. And you can learn all those good stuff to be able to put protection in your home. A lot of times we don't protect ourselves. We leave ourselves open to all kind of attacks. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Physically. We leave ourselves because we don't got no protection. Some people say, oh, I don't believe in all that. I just pray and that's it. Honey, well, some church people, some of the densest people I ever did meet. Now, you say you're Christian, judo Christian. Well, The one you say you worship was a Hebrew, was a Jew. And if you know anything about Jews, me born and raised, so I know, at every door, they have something at the door of every house. And if you're really religious and Orthodox and you're a Jew, it's on every door in your home except the bathroom. You have a mezuzah. It's called a mezuzah. Beautiful little image, little carving. Sometimes it's wood, gold, steel, whatever, silver. And inside of it is writing different certain passages of scripture. And the spiritual leader, the priest, the rabbi will bless it and bless your home, bless the mezuzah, and you put it on the door for protection. You remember our grandmothers and great-grandfathers, when you you bought a new house or built a new house or got a new apartment, what they say, go in and bless that house. Anoint that home. Sling holy water everywhere. Every time when I buy new jewelry, clothes, head coverings, hats, honey, I even tell sisters, honey, even down to your wig, honey. Everything you get that's new that come in your house, you ought to cleanse. You ought to purify. Spray that Florida water on that stuff, honey. Some holy water. Anoint it all. Purify it. Speak over your, because let me tell you what, clothing carry energy. Your energy is in everything you have. Let me give you an example for the Bible thumpers that may be in the room. When you read in the Bible, I believe it's in the book of Acts. When you read in the Bible, in the book of Acts, Acts of the Apostles, chapter 19, verse 12, it talks about, now, how he had a gift. Paul had a gift of healing. He was a healer. He knew how to transmute energy. He was a miracle worker. Or in some cultural context, a medicine man, a shaman, a priest. And what he did, handkerchiefs, aprons, different cloths that he had touched. He transmuted energy. He transmuted that healing energy of the gift he had into those cloths. See, a lot of people read their different verses because don't know the metaphysical understanding of what they're reading. So they don't grasp what was happening. He transmuted his healing gift ability in those cloths. And those cloths were taken to people that were sick. And when they received it, the transmutation of energy, it was a point of contact, and they were healed. So your energy is within everything you have, your clothing, because I've done that. People, I remember one time I was in a revival, way back in the day, I was in the country. I believe it was in Esther, South Carolina. I don't know if anybody on the line or on the replay know anything about Esther, South Carolina. I was in Esther, South Carolina, preaching for this church. It was a lady pastor, Holiness Church. And the spirit, anybody know me? I've been a prophet all my life, a diviner, a healer. And the spirit within me told me I had some handkerchiefs, and I blessed this pack of handkerchiefs. And I called this woman out of the audience. And her husband happened to be the guitarist. He was another pastor of another church. And I asked permission to pray, because I never pray for, in that context, I never pray for a woman, a married woman, without the permission of her husband, especially if they're both in the service. Because, as a spiritual leader, I know about marriage. I've been married for years, and I always want to honor the sanctity of marriage. So I asked the husband if he was okay if I prayed for his wife. He said, "Oh, sure, sure." And I prayed for her, and I spoke what the Spirit gave me to say to her and what I saw. Because I have the gift of foresight. And I told her what I saw. And I told her these words, and I gave her this pack of handkerchief, and after I blessed it, I told her after that night she was going to be free. And in the coming days and weeks and months to come, that the Spirit would tell her what to do with these handkerchiefs. I blessed it, but the Spirit was going to tell her what to do. Lo and behold, a few months as I spoke, a few months later, her husband had a stroke. I hadn't seen him in months, because that was the first time I had met them. And we said, they were going to invite me to their church or whatever. And the church that I was at, they was telling me they were going over to that particular pastor and his wife's service. So I said, I'll go over to you. They pastor anniversary, go see them fellowship. So I went, and they told me the testimony when they saw me that we're so happy to see you again. That the husband had a stroke, and it was bad. And that wife, the Spirit spoke to her to go in that drawer and get that handkerchief that the apostle had prayed over and pin it on her husband's side, all down his body, that he had a stroke on. And the divine began to give him his mobility back. I said all that not to make me look so great, honey, because that ain't nothing, honey. I done seen so many great things happen by the aid of the Spirit within me. I blessed all, mixed all, blessed it, and gave it to people, and they've done, and things have happened in your life, transformed. But you got to know your divine gift that you have and use it as a service for humanity. You have not been blessed with your divine gift just to sit on it or to ignore it or act like it don't exist. You've been given a divine gift for a reason. Some of y'all are running away from it. My spouse always say, "Why do I got this gift?" Because many of us, we didn't ask for it. We did not ask for the gift that the divine have given us. But the divine gave us the gift. Why? Because the divine know the people that we've been called to serve, to lead, to help. Many of them need this, what we have. And so the divine knows that, being all-knowing, gives us certain gifts to be a blessing and help to those we are called to lead and serve. So always bless anything that comes in your house new, bless it. Why? Because things carry energy. You don't know what kind of energy the person at the factory that made your clothes was in when they made it. I'm not saying nothing to spook nobody. I'm just telling the truth. It's the truth. This is a spiritual movement, Soul Awakening Sanctuary movement. This sanctuary verse is a virtual, sacred, and safe sanctuary, and we teach spiritualities. And clothing carry everything you got, carry your energy. And other things that you bring in your home carry energy, so bless it. Sometimes we wonder why our relationships are all out of whack. Because we have not commanded alignment in our relationships. You don't know why your marriage is always in trouble. Because oftentimes you have not spoken and commanded alignment in your relationships. So you have to take authority and command your day. The second thing you need to do every day is mental rewiring. Stop speaking the wrong words and speak the correct words. That you command your reality. Speak what you truly want to see in your life. It's no more, I hope it works out. You speak, everything is working in my favor. I don't know if I can do this. No, you speak, I am fully able and equipped and capable of doing this because I've been endowed with the ability by the divine. The divine intelligence in you, the source of all that is, you're connected to it, of all knowledge. And all the knowledge that you need, the divine can download it to you to accomplish. Don't know how to create a business plan and you want to be an entrepreneur? Seek the divine within. Go within and seek the divine within, and the divine will give you the business plan. The divine will set up the things in your favor so that you can accomplish. There is nothing you face that you're ill prepared for if you learn to go within and connect to the divine in you. There's nothing you're not prepared for. There's no answer that you cannot unravel, no mystery you can't unravel if you go within and seek the divine guidance of the Spirit and of your ancestors, of the divine. All the answers that you need, you can get. The third thing, practical tool you can use every day to learn to command your day, command your reality, is visualization treatments. Visual commanding. Vision activation. So every day as you rise, every morning, look in the mirror, stand in front of the mirror, and speak life and power into your destiny. Out loud. Because you know, a mirror is a portal. Television are portals. That's what some people don't believe that. You say, oh, that's no. Television is a portal. That's why they call it television. TV, television. Tell a vision. Movies and shows. The creators behind those movies and those scripts, they're telling what they see and what they want in the future and what's going to happen. Many of these things are prophetic. And next thing you know, who knew when we used to watch the Jetsons that the things that we saw on TV would actually end up being real life? Television, tell a vision. It's a portal. Mirrors are a portal. That's why no mirror should be facing you. You're in your bed. No mirror should be facing you. No chair should be facing your bed. You should not place shoes under your bed. Now I'm talking spiritual stuff now. So stand every morning in front of your mirror and speak aloud, positively. Speak life and power into your destiny. And then picture yourself in your mind's eye, in the theater of your mind. Picture yourself already in the future you desire. See yourself walking and talking and living in your expected end. If you want to take a vacation, begin to speak that vacation. I am preparing myself because I am going to Hawaii. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to wherever. I'm going to Detroit. If you want to go to the beach, you want to go to Florida to the beach, begin to speak. See it, visualize it. Feel the wind on the beach. See yourself walking your toes to the sand. You're hearing the wind. And begin to affirm that. See, this is how manifestation takes place. It's not just speaking, but you got to visualize it. And then every day, I encourage you to speak to your inner child. There's an inner child in each of us. And a lot of times we haven't healed our inner child. So I encourage each and every one of you who understand my voice, speak to your inner child. Speak to your inner child. Speak to your present self. And then speak to your future self. Heal yourself all the way around. Greetings, everybody. If this is your first time being in our virtual sanctuary, we want to say welcome. Welcome home. This is the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement with yours truly, who is the Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, the High Priestess, Global Spiritual Leader, Teacher, Guide, and founder of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement, and the host of the Sankofa Sessions podcast. We are welcome to have you. We are thankful to have you. Welcome into this sacred and safe space. We're not teaching colonization, organized religion, indoctrination, dogma. We're teaching spiritual evolution, spiritual revolution. We're teaching from an expanded consciousness. We're teaching from an inclusive, expanded consciousness, spirituality. Knowing that the divine is within you. God is not in the sky. God is within you. And when you begin to recognize your own divine identity, that's when you begin to awaken Christ within. And you begin to see your life change for the better. If you'd like to give to this sacred work, it's in the bio, in the caption, on the flyer, on my page, but it's $ through CashApp, $ VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. We thank you for your support. If you love these lives and you love what we're doing and you want to support financially, please drop a love gift through Cash App, capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Just coming in, please share the live. Tap the screen, press those hearts, share, leave a comment, and let somebody know, repost, reshare, that we are live. So visualization treatment. Good to see you, nephew, JJ. Welcome. So the fourth thing we need to do, morning spiritual rituals, morning command your day. 2, mental rewiring, replace those negative thoughts, what you can't do and what you're not good at, and replace that with truth. 3rd, visualization treatment, visual commanding, vision activation. See yourself already in the future, having, doing, being what you desire. And 4, number 4, write your decrees down. Not only speak it, say it, believe it, but now write it down. Write 3 daily I am affirmations, because remember what I teach. Whatever you put behind I am, you become. Whatever you place behind I am, you become. You say I am poor, you stuck in poverty frequency. If you say I am rich, you will be in a rich frequency. If you say I am not worthy, you will remain in a frequency of being unworthy. If you say I am loved, not I'm loved, I am loved, you don't have to worry about being loved, because you will stay in the frequency of love. And guess what? You will attract people that will love you, and you will love yourself. So write 3 daily I am affirmations. Affirm the truth of who you are. Write 3 things you're creating. 3 things you're working on. And then write 3 things you're releasing. Because a lot of the problem that we have is that we hold on to things. We hold on. We just like a sponge. We hold on. Some of us been holding on to pain that we've had from childhood. You've been holding on to the pain. Your mama yelled at you or threw a book at you or something, and you holding on to that pain. You haven't healed. So begin to write 3 things you're releasing. We are like a sponge. We hold on to grudges. We hold on to envy. We hold on to hurt. We hold on to pain. And we nurse it like it's a dream. We nurse it like it's a baby. And all it does is fester. The wound doesn't heal. It's festering. It's getting bigger and bigger. So I want to say to you, it's time to heal. It's time to heal your inner child. It's time to release the heartache, release the pain, release the wound, release the envy, release the hate, release the disappointment, release the feeling of being let down, being forgot about, being deserted. Release. Learn to release. So write 3 things down that you're releasing every day and begin to work on those things. Release it. And the 5th thing, last thing, number 5, spiritual hygiene and alignment check. A lot of us, I hope for the majority of us, we know how to take a bath. Take a bath every day. Cleanse ourselves. And not just get in the bathroom and water. Or just, throw some soap on your body and just rub. No, honey, get one of them African sponge or get a washcloth. Not a rag. Like, people in the country that say rag, no, it's a washcloth. And scrub your body. I hope we all know how to do that. Put deodorant on. Even when you don't feel good. Wash, because see, you're cleansing their energy. Sometimes you may need a spiritual bath. Take a spiritual bath. You don't know what that is, you can reach out, we can teach you. And cleanse yourself. Shift your energy. Put on some clothes. Make yourself look good. Because all they help shift your energy. So we may know how to upkeep ourselves physically, but do we know how to keep a balanced spiritual hygiene and plus alignment check? That's something that we need to do every day. So you may be saying, Chief, what does that mean? What is spiritual hygiene and alignment check? Check your environment. Does it support the reality you're commanding? Does your environment support the reality you're commanding? Check your environment. Is your environment conducive to what the reality you're trying to bring forth? Sometimes we're trying to bring something forth in the wrong environment and it's not working. We're trying to do something great in the wrong location and it's not working. So you got to make sure the environment you're trying to accomplish something in is conducive to what the reality you're commanding. Sometimes we got to relocate. We got to invest in somewhere else because you're in the wrong place. Planting the right seed in the wrong soil. So check your environment. Does it support the reality you're commanding? Number 2, check your relationships. A lot of us have had relationships for a long time, for years. But we don't check it. We don't revisit the relationship and check it. Is this relationship still aligning with my purpose? Is my relationship with these people, or this place, or this group, this organization, This community, is it still aligning with my purpose and who I am and who I'm becoming? It may have aligned with who I was, where I was, who I was, what I was doing, but is it aligning to where I am and where I'm evolving to, my purpose, what I'm becoming? Check your relationship. Are they draining you or affirming your authority? Draining your authority or affirming it? A lot of relationship is just a sinkhole. It's just draining you. It's sucking you dry. A lot of the relationships that we have are sucking us dry. Friendship is one-sided. A friendship, a relationship, it takes two. And it goes both ways. As the elders growing up used to say, the same distance it takes for me to come to you, it takes you to get to me. Same difference. Same effort it took for me to pick up the phone, it takes you the same effort to pick up the phone. So stop making excuses for people. Oh, well, they're busy. Oh, they don't have time, or they work, or they very influential, or they XYZ. No, honey, people make time for what they want to. Don't get it twisted. Don't get confused. Stop making excuses for people. People make time for what they want to make time for. You just may not be high on the list. They may not deem you worthy to put time and effort. Every relationship, in order for it to grow, you have to put time and effort. People, remember this and don't ignore this sage advice. People make time for what they want. Women, never let a man tell you that he was too busy and you don't got time. Men, don't let a woman tell you she was too busy and don't have time. People, don't let nobody tell you they were too busy and don't have time, because people make time for what they love and for what they want. Simple as that. You can attest to that. You make time for what you love and want. So all your relationships, check them. Are they draining you or affirming your authority? Is the relationships you're in, rather friendships, spiritual community, church, mosque, synagogue, temple, shrine, organizations you're a part of, is it benefiting you or draining you? Are both people benefiting? Because you gotta even check where you go and what you do. Because a lot of time people only want you in their circle and at the events because of the clout you bring to it, because of your presence, the energy you bring to it. A lot of people are just benefiting. They're not adding value to your life. The people in your life, are they adding value? Are you adding value to each other's lives? Or is it one-sided? You got to check that. Because you can't take everybody where you're going. Woo! You can't take everybody where you're going. Isn't that powerful? So you check your environment. We're talking about spiritual hygiene and an alignment check. Check your environment. Does it support your reality, the reality you're commanding? Check your relationships. Are they draining or affirming your authority? And number 3, check your intake. What are you absorbing? What are you intaking in your spirit, in your heart? What are you feeding your spirit daily? What are you feeding your soul? What are you feeding your spirit daily? Are you giving, just like your body needs nutrients, are you giving your spirit the nutrients it needs to grow, to expand? Are you giving your spirit the nutrients that it needs to expand and grow and help you evolve. Greetings, hey Boosie, Booski. Welcome, darling. Hope you're doing well. Make sure that you're feeding yourself, your spirit, the right types of things. Make sure you're not feeding your spirit negativity, but you're feeding it positivity. You're feeding your spirit love. You're feeding your spirit joy. You're feeding your spirit with happiness, with knowledge, with understanding. You're feeding your spirit with empowerment so that it may be strong. Make sure you're not feeding your spirit with divisiveness, because remember the sacred text in the Bible, when you look at it metaphysically, it said a house divided against itself can't stand. Now that, you can't look at that literally. It's talking about in a spiritual sense. In your house, your temple, your body, if you're split and divided, you're torn, it's not going to work. Your whole being has to be in alignment and on one accord in yourself on what you're doing and where you're going and what you're going to accomplish. So check your intake. What are you feeding your spirit daily? What are you absorbing? How are you building your paradigm? Is it reinforcing the program you already have, or are you reprogramming your mind to wealth, abundance, empowerment? See, Yeshua, commonly called Jesus. I love to speak about this character because Yeshua was a model of divine authority for us. He was a way shower. See, Christ consciousness equals mastery of mind, word, body, spirit, and vibration. I'm going to say again, Christ consciousness is not about a man, it's a frequency. And it equals mastery of mind, word, body, spirit, and vibration. Yeshua spoke to the storms, not about them. Yeshua called Lazarus forth, not mourned at his tomb. Yeshua, he multiplied lack because he commanded abundance from the unseen. So are we following that example? That's the question. Yeshua, he spoke to storms, not about them. How many times do we mule over and keep talking about our problems, what we perceive as problems? How many times do we keep talking about the different storms, quote unquote, that we are going through in our life instead of speaking to the storm? There used to be a song that says, I told the storm. I told the storm. Not I'm talking about it, because talking about the problem ain't helping. I'm speaking to my mountain. That what Yeshua said, if you have the faith, the size of a mustard, you can speak to your mountain. Remember, it's metaphysical. It's not talking about speaking to a little mountain, because you can speak to the little mountain and your breath ain't going to do nothing, honey. The words are going to fall right to the ground. Metaphysically, if you speak to your mountain, speak to your problems, speak to the storms that happen in your life, speak to the circumstances you're facing, and speak with authority. Speak with your divine authority and spiritual sovereignty. In power, it will be moved. So Yeshua was a model of divine authority. He spoke to the storms. Again, not about them. He raised the dead, didn't mourn at the tomb. Are we speaking life into people? Or we are mourning and lamenting them? They say misery love company. Are you being drawn into that? Or are you saying, no, 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 we don't have to give in to this despair. Let's speak life into you. Let's speak life into the situation. Let's speak rejuvenation. Yeshua walked in authority because he knew, as we need to know, who he was. He knew he was. The question is, do you know who you are? You should know who he was. The question is, do you know who you are? That's our question. Do you know who you are? You've been taught to know who Jesus is. You've been taught to know who God is. You were taught their version of God anyway. You were taught to know who your mama, your daddy is, your family, your blood, your kin, the police officers, president. You were taught about everybody else. George Washington, Martin Luther King. Peace be upon him. But the question is, have you been taught who you are? Have you learned that? Who are you at your true core and essence? So Yeshua walked with authority because he knew who he was. A lot of times we don't walk with authority because we don't know who we are. That's why we're timid, unsure of ourselves, always second guessing ourselves. We don't walk in authority. We don't speak in authority. We don't speak with assertiveness, definiteness, or purpose. Why? Because we're not sure of ourselves. We're not sure of who we truly are. And it shows in the way we show up, in the way we talk, in the way we live, in our movements, and everything. You can't hide because energy don't lie. And I want you to remind you, he walked with authority, in authority, because he knew who he was, and that same consciousness lives inside of you. Once you awaken to your own authority, the Christ within you. So I want you to affirm with me and say aloud, I am no longer living beneath my privilege. I will no longer walk in indefiniteness of purpose, but I now walk and live in definiteness of purpose. I am definite with the infinite. I would encourage you to stop worshiping the messenger and start activating the message. So a lot of times we were taught to worship the messenger. We have been taught to worship and to start activating the message. Start living out the message. Colonized, organized religions have taught you to worship Yeshua, the messenger. But Yeshua never told nobody to worship him. He came to activate the Christ within you. Activate the God within you. Stop worshiping the messenger and start activating the message. Activate the embodiment of the divine in you. Activate the message that you can be who you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can have what you want to have by the power of the divine in you. That's the message you got to activate. And I want to encourage everybody, and remember this. Our ancestors didn't wait. They walked. See, our ancestors, they already knew that rituals were reinforcement. Rituals help you reinforce what you believe and what you practice. Our ancestors knew rituals were reinforcement. Our ancestors knew that words were spells. Our ancestors knew dance was prayer. Our ancestors knew that breath was life force in action. Our ancestors knew that nature was scripture. And I want to encourage you to remember you are a continuation of that divine technology of our ancestors. You are a divine continuation of that technology, the divine technology. I want you to know and to remember, be able to declare for yourself that you are the resurrection of your ancestors' unfulfilled dreams. You are a resurrection of their unfulfilled dreams. Your purpose on earth is to fulfill the unfulfilled dreams of your ancestors and leave a mark in earth. Leave it better than when you found it. That's your purpose in earth. So you got to remember and say to yourself, I speak for those who couldn't. That's what you have to do. Speak for those who couldn't. You have to know that I command for those who were silenced. You have to know that I rise for those who were broken. See, that's your purpose. That you speak for those who couldn't. You command for those who were silenced. And you rise for those who were broken. That's powerful. So you are not your own. You have a greater cloud of witness, as the sacred text says, which is your ancestor in the ancestral realm, on the other side of the veil, rooting and cheering for you, supporting you, giving you guidance when you need it. And I want you to remember today what we were taught in this spiritual, virtual sanctuary, in this service, this divine, sacred gathering. Remember that you are the temple, the tool, and the truth. You are the temple, the tool, the truth. Repeat that after me. I am the temple, the tool, the truth. I need you to remember today, beloved, that commanding your reality is your divine right. It's not an option. It's not a caveat. It's your divine right to command your reality. I need you to remember today that Christ consciousness is not a religion. It's a frequency, it's a vibration that you come into so that you can be able to realize and awaken the Christ within you, the divine within you, God in you, that power in you to rise up and be a warrior, to no longer be just at the vulnerability of happenstance, but you will stand up and take your power back, take your mind back, take your soul back. I want you to remember today that ancestral wisdom is not witchcraft. I'm going to say that again. Ancestral wisdom is not witchcraft. That's what the colonizers taught us, to separate us from our spiritual heritage. Ancestral wisdom is not witchcraft, it's wealth. It's a wealth of knowledge that we have been left to help guide us through this world. And lastly, I want you to remember, you are not waiting on a miracle. Beloved, you are the miracle. You are the miracle. You're not waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle. You are the answer to someone's prayer. A lot of times, you're the answer to your own prayer. You just hadn't realized it yet. And I want to give you this closing affirmation for today. And I want you to repeat after me with fervor and feeling and intent. Say, I walk in divine authority. Come on, say that with me. I walk in divine authority. I speak what I desire, not what I fear. I align with truth and not trauma. Say that again. I align with truth, not trauma. I am the embodiment of Christ's consciousness, the frequency, and ancestral power, my heritage. I am the embodiment of Christ's consciousness, the frequency, and ancestral power, my heritage. I command my life with clarity, definiteness of purpose, confidence, and conviction. Come on. I command my life with clarity, definiteness of purpose, confidence, and conviction. Amen and Ashe. If today's message and spiritual teaching has activated something in your spirit and something in your soul, if you're ready to walk and not crawl anymore, to command and not just cope, to live in divine power and not religious fear, I invite you to join the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement, which is a virtual spiritual community. We hold sacred gatherings like this to help awaken to Christ, the God within you, to awaken you to your own spiritual sovereignty and power. If you've been looking for a spiritual home, if you left organized religion or the church, or places that you feel that you just don't fit in, that you're understanding where spirit is leading you deeper, you can't find a connection, welcome home. You found your spiritual home. If you've been looking for a spiritual advisor, spiritual teacher, someone can help guide you in your spiritual journey as you seek to expand your consciousness and experience a new dimension in your walk in life. Welcome home. You found a place in this community, the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. I invite you to follow, sow, share, and invite. If you'd like to give and support our sacred work, if you're being blessed, being inspired and uplifted by this platform, we want you to sow today. Give a financial contribution. You can do so through CashApp. That's capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Again, to give a financial contribution today, it's through CashApp. That is capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Also, we have Zelle. If you'd like that, you can reach out to us and we can give you those information. Know that we love you and we appreciate all that you do to support our mission and sacred work. We are building an army in this community of awakened souls. And you are needed to help build this strong army of awakened soul. We are building and awakening the world, one mind at a time. So again, to support our movement, you can give via Cash App, and that's at capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Every donation that you give, nothing is too small, too great. You're helping further this message of spiritual liberation and soul awakening to all the world. Every seed that you sow in this movement helps us keep spreading the truth and awakening the world, because the world is thirsty for this truth. And you are helping us to make it a reality. Always know that you are powerful, you are creative, you are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. You are God in flesh, having a human experience. Never let anyone, any ideology, any philosophy, any theology, any indoctrination or dogma or anyone's negative opinion tell you differently. Always remember that it's not what they call you, beloved. It's what you choose to answer to. And I advise you, admonish you, and encourage you to make them call you by your name because you are worthy of all the honor, dignity, and respect that's due. Because you are great. You're someone great. Greatness is on the inside of you, and you're destined for greatness. Your name is great. And everybody around you know it. Everybody you come in contact with know it, whether they admit it or not. The only question is, can you admit it? Can you affirm the truth of that to yourself and walk it out every single day? Always remember that the presence of God in me loves the presence of God in you. I love each and every one of you. Keep arising, keep awakening, keep elevating, and expanding your consciousness. Until next time, peace be with you. Love you all.